Hello, my people. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Welcome. Come on in. Hey, baby. Thank you. Okay, my people. Come on in, come on in. Good morning. Mbolo, my people. Mbote na yo. Akewa. Jambo. My royals are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Nubia, the path to return, the home of the African royals. So come on in, family, come on in. Peace and love. Okay, let me greet all my precious African royals in the chat. Awa, I see you, my royal. Greetings. Voodoo Child, I see you, my royal. You're welcome. Bantu Mother, here, my queen, I see you. Philip Fortune, I see you, dear son, I see you. Mbolo, of course, my very own daughter, daughter of Zion, I see you, baby. Johnny Boy, you are welcome, I see you. Funi Sawati, I see you. Greetings. Hazel Eugene, hey, my queen, I see you. Our son Ernest Parker, I see you, my prince. You are welcome. Welcome home. The child of the sun, I see you. Sylvia Jones, I see you. Greeting, my dear royal. Kalia Baker, hey, my princess, I see you. My youngest daughter's name is Kalia. All right, so we have everybody. VRT 706, Uja, my dear royal, Uja. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Nubia, the path to return, the home of the African royals. So you are welcome, you are welcome. Let's start the session today. Today's video, today's royal conference, because that's what we be having here every day. So today's royal conference is about knowing, as we going on wearing our crowns, it's knowing the cost of betrayal, okay? So let me just say a few words about my today gears. So of course, this is the bucket hat from our beautiful and wonderful creative Zulu queens. Okay, the necklace is a Maasai necklace. All right, these are the kind of things our people put together. We don't lack in creativity. So welcome to the wonderful house of Nubia, the home of the African royal. So as we will start this royal conference, we would like to invite our ancestors, our deserving ancestors, to accompany us in this, live chat, for them to use me as an instrument to reach out to their children out there. And we are asking them to seal this live chat, to secure it, and to make sure that any trespassing is heavily consequential. All right? So you know the word. Those coming in to spy and plot evil are marked. So as you leave, you will take our people to your home and they deal with you. You know what they do when you mess with their children? They choke you in their sleep, in your sleep. And what does it do? Your coroner gonna call it a stroke. No, it's us visiting you when you won't let go of our people. So as the loving queen I am to warn those out there who think that we are an easy kill. All right? So welcome to Nubia, the path to return. the house of African royals. So to my beautiful African royals, today we will touch on a particular topic, which is the cost of betrayal. Just give me a second. Let me close the door of my office because I'm afraid, since I'm not wearing a microphone, it will affect the sound. So I'll be right back. All right. So my dear royal, my beautiful African royal, so today we will talk about the cost of betrayal. All right. So first of all, our people need to know, all right, where in the past we have dramatically failed. And, such failure has led to heavy consequences for our people as a whole. All right. So I want you guys to understand, every African royal out there by now, if you've been watching my videos, if you've had what I would say perfect attendance when it comes to the teachings I offered, if you've been a faithful student, you should know by now that per Tata Zambe, as he created us, right? There's no, basically, the man doesn't have one second. So basically, it's important to understand that men and women are one, right, in front of the Creator. Men and women are one. So the same Creator, Tata Zambe, who created the men, the same Creator, created the woman. But unlike the stories, they have in the Bible and everything, that we came from the rib of the man, I would like our people to understand that they intentionally said those things, right? They intentionally said those things in order to position the woman, in a lower position. So if they tell you that you come from somebody, in order for you to come about, they had to take a piece of somebody else. What does it mean? It positioned yourself, it put yourself in a level of a child next to that person, right? Just like our children come from us. So that's why there's that hierarchy. There's a ranking. A child will be a child. A child will be a child. A child will never be the parent. So then in selling that narrative to the world, it was basically to strategically position the woman under the man. Whereas our Creator, Tata Zambe, he gave the woman to the man as a helper. So basically women, men without us, without our guidance, our elders, compare them to newborn puppy. When a puppy is freshly born, some of them, it would take 2 or 3 days before they open their eyes. They operate through sense. They will follow the mother through the sense and then latch on the mother's nipple to feed, right? So our elders, compare men who don't have the guidance of a woman by their side as a blind puppy, right? So the God, the creator of the universe, Tata Zambe, as I said in previous video, he's a God of balance, all right? He didn't create any human being to be superior or above any other human being, just like he didn't create the woman to be, subjected to the man. No, he gave the man the intelligence, the strength, the everything. But at the same time, he gave his wisdom in his woman. The wisdom, the woman holds the wisdom. And the woman has the one who has that direct access to the Creator. So the Creator speaks through her. When the Creator want to guide the man, you know, he put a good woman by his side, a pure woman, because you got to be in a pure state to be able to receive messages from the divine. You have to create an environment which is welcoming, you know, to the matters of the divine. That's why back in ancient Kemet, right, the priest's daughter used to be the one married to Pharaoh, because as Pharaoh is running his show, the priest's daughter was his connection to God. All right. So when the white race, the Mzungus, the Ntanganese, you know, when they decided to do of God's creation, what they decided to do of God's creation, they clearly saw that whatever plan they had for the world was going against God's, you know, will. So in order for them, even before they enslave us, they had to downgrade their women, right? I covered that in a previous video where they basically had to, you know, downgrade them, make them believe that they're burdened. They reversed the whole thing. In order for her to even stand a chance in marriage, her people had to have money she could take, you know, that money that she could take to her husband in a form of dowry. Okay? So even before they got to us, they had to put their women in the place they wanted. You know, back in the days, there are women who had the gifts of vision. There are women, you know, they were able to connect to the divine and stuff, but they didn't want that. That's why, you know, you would hear them throughout Europe, you know, they would set the witches on fire. Who were the witches? They are women. That was the way for them to quiet the voice from the other side. So anybody receiving messages from the other side was labeled as witch or wizard automatically. All right. So you see how they orchestrated the world demise. So, you know, they took the ancient Egyptian secret and all the knowledge Tata Nzambe had communicated to our ancestors and modified a few. And with the, you know, the Vatican, the Catholic Church, they decided to go on world exploration, on, you know, conquering land under the pretense of religion. Because all the places they were going, before they bring the military, they will bring their missionaries. The missionaries will come and tell a whole group of people that the way you've been living life is wrong. The way you've been moving around is wrong. The God you've been worshiping is wrong. This is our God. And in there is saying, I'm going to make myself your master and you better obey me. Because my God said you better obey me. So you see the length through which they went to put us in this, not just us, the whole world, in the situation we are. So some of us who are very fanatic out there, you know, they will run around thinking they know so much about our divinity because they read it in a book coming from the people who have enslaved us, a book coming from people who have financed the expedition that led to our demise. I laugh because our father said the baby goats graze us where he found his father graze. You know, if he found his father grazing on long grass, that's what he will, you know, he will graze on to stand a chance of survival. So basically, you have to understand that in order for them to be able to enslave us and be able to keep us down for as long as they did, is because they found that we are God's people. We need God. We need the word of God. We need the guidance of God as the air that we breathe. So, you know, they knew that it's through religion that they could really get us, right? So it is important that you know. That's why it baffles me when I watch some traditional wedding from our fathers over there, in the west coast of Africa, all that area, Ghana, Nigeria, even the French country, the Senegal, the Drara. These are the places where, you know, they went and had a few puppets in that area. Some people told me, well, Ghana apologized. Ghana knows why they apologized. They know what they did to their kings and they know what they did to their children. I can't speak for Ghana. So in these places, these fathers of ours that, you know, that got played by them, because by them betraying their kings or whatever happened there, they still lost the sovereignty over their land. So you could see that the people in the West, they took that to core. When you go and marry one of their daughters, they put her on bended knees. So in the whole crowd of people, she has to take the drink to her husband to show her family who her husband is, the groom will be sitting there, and she goes and on bended knees. These are the people who took the white people teaching about women being nothing but good for warming beds and having baby. These are the group of us who took that teaching and ran with it. And a lot of our fathers over there, you see how they talk to our mothers. Oh, shut up, blah, 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 blah. Whenever they do their thing, they never consult their women. You know, they never consult their women. So basically, luckily for us, like in Central Africa, this is one part. Our fathers will always teach our brothers that a woman is to be feared, because life begins in her and life ends in her too. That's why our fathers, if for example, I remember one day I witnessed something very interesting. One girl showed up to our compound and accused my brother of having impregnated her. So my brother was trying, oh no, this is not me, da 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 da. My father stopped him. I said, do you know her? He said, yes. Have you shared intimacy with her? He said, yes. My father said, if she said her child is yours, then so be it. Because we recognize that a woman is that powerful. So you could see that in history. Okay, so each time our fathers failed, right? Each time our fathers failed to recognize the importance of the woman in their life, our people as a whole paid a heavy price. So let me go down the list of recent, I would say recent misfortunes, I would say, right? In my video, Dearest Children of Africa, I think I covered what happened before the fall and after the fall. So over there, we found out that the women, you know, they use their power. They use their power to tear down, you know, the families and everything. So when they came, they found a fertile land to do whatever they want to break apart whomever they wanted to break apart, right? So, but nevertheless, in our history, we have had amazing women who rose up and, you know, to heal our people and to help restore our people. In many of the cases, they were betrayed by their men. So, you know, betrayal has been a big factor in the demise of our people. So before I get into the different characters, right, I would like to share an African kid's tale our parents shared with us. Is the story of the woman and the gorilla, right? So there's an African tale our parents tell us that which teaches wisdom. It's the story of a woman who had a baby, and she was due to go to the farm every day. You know, she had a farm, and but she had a newborn, and she didn't have anybody in the village to take care of the baby while she's working. She was married to a hunter. So it was dry season, and usually, and you know, it's dry season that they prep the land, they prepare the land, you know, when they will start planting. So she had to hurry up to get her land ready. Greetings, Bantu family. So they had to hurry up to have the land ready before the rainy season starts. So she noticed that each time she would go to her farm, right, her baby would not let her work, right? The baby will cry. Each time she tries to do some work, the baby will cry. So until one day, a gorilla came from nowhere. And the gorilla told her, you know what, woman? I've been seeing you for the past few days. You come here, and as quickly as you come, you go back because your baby doesn't let you work. So let me offer something to you. Let me offer to take care of the baby while you do your farm work. And at the end of the day, you know, you go home. I will not harm anybody, nor you or the baby. But all I want from you is to keep it a secret, right? Don't go home and tell anybody that I'm here helping you, taking care of the baby in the jungle, right? So the first day, everything went well. The woman was so grateful. The gorilla was, was helping her carry the baby and, caring of the baby. So she will work her entire shift and plant and do everything she needed to do. And she was so grateful. So one day she got very tempted in sharing that with her husband. Although the gorilla had warned her not to tell anybody that he's been helping her, in the forest. So, long story short, one day she told her husband that, something amazing has been happening to me each time I go to the farm. There's a gorilla who comes and help me take care of the baby, right? So as I work, the gorilla will hold the baby and keep the baby. So the woman, as didn't make much of it. She just decided to, she thought that it was gonna be okay for her to share that with her husband, although the gorilla told her not to. So the next day she went to the farm. The gorilla came as usual and greeted her and welcomed her and started, rocking the baby, taking care of the baby as the gorilla had promised that he will do. So she didn't know that her husband had decided to follow her, to go after her and see if her story was true. So her husband followed her and the husband sneaked behind the bushes. So the gorilla already had scented the husband. The gorilla had scented that the husband was in the vicinity. And the husband, being a hunter, he saw the gorilla holding the baby. He saw that an opportunity, to score his kill of the day, right? Remember I told you he was a hunter. So he aimed the gun and shot. So the gorilla dropped the baby and the bullet, hit the baby in the heart. And as the gorilla was, running off, the gorilla told the woman, I told you not to say anything about what we've been doing here, for I know that death, unlike what many people think, that death comes from the forest. Death doesn't come from the forest. Death comes from the village. I told you, woman, not to say anything, and here goes your son. So the bullet ended up killing the son. So our parents used to tell us that story, to make us aware that in life, the people who have access to you, the closest people, the people who have that access to you are more likely the people who will destroy you or kill you or something. Remember the gorilla running away, the gorilla said death doesn't come from the forest. Death comes from the village, right? So when it comes to our history, Um, all right, so when it comes to our history, like when I explained to you, I invited many of you to get the Shaka Zulu series for you guys to acquire it and watch it, because through that series you will understand a lot of things about our history, right? There was a prophecy. Excuse me, I need to take this dog out, okay? I'll be right back. Next one. Come here. Okay, my beautiful royals, I'm back. So basically, our elders teach us one thing. You know, they say that death doesn't really come from the forest, because imagine the forest is full of, you know, the forest is full of beings that can, you know, cause a human being instant death, right? But contrary to what we think, that evil comes from outside. Yes, there's danger all around us, but ultimately, the people who have the power to allow danger to come and, you know, wipe out an entire family or stuff like that are usually the people from around us, right? Like I say, in the case of Shaka Zulu, there was a prophecy that Tatanzame was going to send them someone who will save their people. He will be very brave, very courageous. But the prophecy said that an era of terror will come. So our people thought that is that child that would bring the era of terror. So when they were able to identify that child, they give him hell. You know, the Zulu gave him hell. They chased his mother away. I mean, you could watch the series. It was painful to the point that the boy grew without love. And Shaka's grandmother was telling Queen Nandi, that it's important that you teach him love. You know, I know we went through a lot. I know we suffered, but it is important that you teach him love. So basically, when the white people said, just like I say in the Birth of the Queen video, they didn't say that they had something to do, but all of a sudden Shaka's half-brother were trying to kill him. And when they tried to kill him, the doctor of their expedition, you know how they do, they will set your house on fire and then bring their fire trucks and offer the help. So when Shaka brothers attempted to his life, they left him like an inch from, from death. So the British doctor is the one who helped Shaka recover. And because he did that, Shaka all of a sudden discovered what is that the so-called love or attention from the same people who came and entered with his world. Okay, so basically this is how they were able to become like Shaka besties, and everything they wanted, Shaka started giving them, right to the land and this and that, because the Zulu, they felt to love their boy. The prophecy said he's the one who will set you free, But since, and just like I said, royal owned homes, there's a lot of politics. I just would wish our people will lay low and just do everything Tata Nzambe wants us to do. Because when we get in there, we always want to do our own thing. And at the end of the day, it's our people who suffer. So you see how the Zulu missed the opportunity of, empowering, a great king. They should have showered him with love. Because what gives fuel to a king is the love of his people. But Shaka, even you will see in his movie, he's Mbutelezi, the people around him, were from the Mteta tribe. He brought them from another tribe. So his immediate circle, they were not even Zulu because he didn't trust the Zulu. They gave him hell all his life. All right. So, and then I was telling you about the white people lies. They use shoe shine. They put shoe shine on his hair to cover his grave. And they lied to him. They told him, you are now immortal. You will never die. So when one of his girls, became pregnant and gave birth to a son, Shaka, since he had that bad blood with his family, with his father, he didn't want to raise a child that would come and, be at war with him too. So he had the child, his sole heir, his only heir, he had him murdered because the white people got in his soul, got in his psychic. All right. So over there we fell. Now fast forward, in the case of the Congo, we had a very valuable son called Patrice Lumumba who fought, all right, for our independence. He fought, he was even incarcerated by Belgium in Belgium. They put him in jail and everything, and he just kept on pushing. He's like, no, I won't quiet. It's time for independence. You guys got rid of your kings, claiming that, they were making the people suffer and everything, but you guys are being kings over us. So our people fought. And when the white people felt that they couldn't stop the wind of independence, I wanted to be clear that they didn't give us anything. Our people fought. Our people had been fighting. So what was their independence? They're like, okay, we're going to give you guys independence, but we will maintain what we call post-colonial agreement. What does it mean? Post-colonial agreement means that they basically kind of go home, but they maintain military presence in there. Whenever a country has their weapons in your backyard, it means they run it. It means they will have in office a puppet. And the day the people dare, rise up against the puppet, they will be the one killing the people of that land to enforce their puppet. So we know that any president they allow to remain in office is honoring those post-colonial agreements. Post-colonial agreements say that they own them, they retain ownership of our natural resources at a rate of 75 to 80%. So African countries survive on those 20% only. They have imposed upon us a currency that is similar what the Nazi Germany had France under. It's a currency called CFA, which requires the African nations to deposit 80% of their national treasury in the Bank of France, because we use a currency backed by them. So you see how they pimp us, and the nerve of them to insult us when they've been leeching on us since the beginning of times. So you see, so any president they allow to know that he is honoring that post-colonial agreement. So our son Patrice Lumumba was like, the hell to the no. We won't honor those post-colonial agreement. We have come this far, we have achieved independence and everything. And then it didn't take them long before they noticed that in the circle of Patrice Lumumba, there was a Mobutu, right? And Mobutu is somebody Lumumba took under his wing. He was like a so-called journalist, writing stuff. So Patrice Lumumba being the boss he was and stuff, so he welcomed him around him for Mobutu to be that reporter to him. But guess what? They stand around. That's why I tell our people out there, never take your beef publicly. Anybody who fights one of us publicly, he's an enemy. Because they probably caught Mobutu, expressing somewhere that in reality didn't like Lumumba, or anyway, they saw his ambition. They saw that he was highly ambitious. So guess what they did? They went through Mobutu. They say, okay, you deliver us Patrice Lumumba, all right, his call and bonds and everything, and we make you president for life. You know, and which was the term of such agreement is like, you let us, you know, take from your country whatever we want. Just like the puppet kings betrayed our kings. So you see, so as much as we want to cry, oh, these people do this, these people do that, I told you, my royals, that I'm the anti-fragility queen. I don't do the finger pointing. No, we have to lift up that mirror and see what do we do wrong. All right. So of course, many of us coming from colonization and from slavery, we've been starved. All right. A lot of us come from nothing because they strip us of everything, but it doesn't mean that anytime, you know, they wave a little check at you, you know, you should jump and go for it, because the consequences lay heavy on the people. So what ended up happening, the hope, because had Patrice Lumumba been successful enough, Nigel, why you always come and disrupt us? We're talking about things very, you know, very serious, but you come and disrupt us. If you're royal, you're welcome. If you are nation, you are not welcome. Okay? Let me just tell you straight up. Don't come and play with me. I'm not that girl. Go and tell whomever is sending you that the queen is not available. All right? Now get out my chat. And so, well, basically, you know, each time, you know, we want to complain and stuff, we have to bring it back to us. We have to go back in time. We have to go back in history. Where did our parents drop the ball? So had Patrice Lumumba successfully been able to implement a true independent Congo, right? Because the movement of independence and stuff, he was the main figure at that time in our area, the area of Central Africa. He was the main figure. So whatever was going to be successful over there was going to be successful in Gabon, Cameroon, Republic of Central Africa, Angola, and all that Bantu land. You understand? So Mobutu giving them Lumumba, you know, set our continent back, I would say, 50 years. You see? So when Mobutu betrayed Lumumba, it became a trend. So the overly ambitious one just knew they had to betray the true leader. They have to betray the one who blocked access to the Muzungus from doing to us as they wish. They had to block them access. You know, all they needed to do was to sell them out. Now, fast forward, let's move further with the case of our son, Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara literally freed his country from debt. He paid off, you know, by developing agriculture, you know, developing industry and stuff. He removed his country's debt because, remember, they love to force that aid under our throat, down our throat, because the aid gives them a reason to be at home. Once they help you, like our people said, the hand that gives rule. So when they start forcing the aid, like they were forcing Haiti aid, and as they turned down the aid, next thing you know, the ground shook again. But how did the ground come to shake again? Is because the inside rats told the outside rat that there's cheese to be stolen. All right, there's cheese to be stolen. So come on, come on. So what they didn't know is that our people said that a leader, right, a God-ordained leader, if God had ordained somebody to rule over his people, he is to protect his people as much as his people are to protect him. And when these people betrayed him or her, there are heavy consequences to pay, because our people say the king or the queen, the leaders don't die alone. Just like they live in this living life with servant, with stuff like that, in the afterlife, they take their servant. They still have that VIP. So that's why you say wherever, when they kill a good president or a good king and stuff, bloodshed follows. So God will allow chaos to come over these people because many souls need to accompany that king, that queen, that president. And that's exactly what happened in Haiti. That's why I don't want to talk about Haiti, because it hurt me so much that these guys went and sat down with the enemy and brought them to kill their brother, brought them to torture their brother, pull an eye on him. I'm like, you guys don't get it. You guys haven't gotten it. If you guys gonna be there betraying each other, return our children to us. If you're gonna bend over to these people, our ancestors beat them behind long time ago, you're gonna bring them back to be enslaved by them, return our children to us. Stay there and kill each other. But because ultimately who suffer are the people, you know? So all the wars, all the bloodshed that have been going on in Congo, the gesture Mobutu did brought a curse on that land. Okay? If some of you wonder why Congo hasn't really known peace, because one of their son put the word out. Thank you, Soluchi, for blessing your queen. Thank you. It shall be multiplied. So basically, because one of them told outside that Congo is a place you can help yourself, drain the soil, take whatever you want, as long as you make me president for life. Right? And the same Mobutu, after they were done using him, they abandoned him. He went and died in exile. He doesn't even have a grave in his homeland. And for a ruler, for a boss, it's an abomination. He thought that he just gave them Patrice Lumumba physically. No, but he surrendered the entire country to them. So Congo has been a joke to them. They go, they kill, they murder, they rape at will. The cost of betrayal. Every betrayal carries spiritual consequences. All right? So the Congolese people fell prey of intensive abuse because the blood of their son that was shed, the son that was anointed to fight for them and defend them, they slaughter him from the end of their own. And then I heard they torture him, they chop him up in pieces, and they put his remains in an acid barrel to make sure they don't find him again or whatever. There's a video circulating of some of these Sikh Mozungu, you know, giving a perfect description on how they did to him. That's why Mobutu's lineage is cursed. They will die, reincarnate. They be cursed, they be slave. Me as one of the queens of the land, that's what I want for his entire lineage. Because what he did is unforgivable. And his offspring don't deserve to even walk around when they carry that seed of betrayal. Who wants them around? So that's what he did to the Congo people. So Congo, as rich as it is, Congo can't catch a break because of the betrayal of Mobutu. He gave them Lumumba, and they killed him the way they killed him. God hasn't forgotten. So fast forward, in Burkina Faso, same thing. Our son Thomas Sankara, he freed his country. Who did they find to betray him? His best friend and brother. They tell you that these guys were like brothers. They would camp at each other's houses. They went to the same school. So they told Compaoré, kill him. Compaoré, in the case of Compaoré, he died from his hand, his own friend. So Burkina Faso is back to become poor. You know, the French people brought the same enslaving system. I mean, we can scream all day, we can complain all day, but until we take a good look at what we do. I told you guys that our people are divinely protected. I told you guys that God has a divine protection around us. That's what leads to, for them to have access to one of us has to betray. And the reason for this video today is like, our people must know that there's a cost to betrayal. All right. So in the case of Burkina Faso, now let's go to South Africa. As I told you the story of Winnie Mandela, right? So Mama Winnie, know that we love you very much and we hold you high in our esteem. We love you. So when they captured Mandela, when they arrested Mandela, they were a group of 5. The other guys, we don't know their names, right? Because they're women, I mean, they ran to safety. It wasn't a good place to hang around. But Mama Winnie stayed on the field and fought. She was arrested, about maybe like close to 30 times, torture and everything they were doing to us. But since the covering of God was over her, these people didn't dare. I'm telling you, they know who they killed. They didn't dare touch her life because there are people, you know, we will get there. There are people, you shed their blood, all right? Your entire lineage will be wiped out. Your son will suffer freak accident, or your son will become impotent, or your son, whatever women they will marry, they marry a woman for another man to enjoy. Shame will shower their days every day. I mean, they will be so miserable. That's why a lot of them who shed our blood end up killing themselves. They committed suicide. These are our spiritual mercenaries at work, you know, but they wouldn't dare touch Winnie. So after the long battle with the apartheid regime, now when Tata Nzambe had them on bended knees, Mandela had to come out of prison. It was no more like a negotiation type of thing. South Africa never had an election, and let's see how the whites were going to win around millions of blacks. So basically, Mandela didn't need to kiss their behind. But the minute they found the letter, oh, my kid is here. Excuse me, let me get her. Oh. Today is a busy day, my lovely. Come. Always something. Always. Okay. I'm so sorry, my lovely royals. Today is a busy day. So basically, when he got out, we didn't need to negotiate with them whatsoever. We were supposed to have an election. You know, the blacks now were going to have rights. They were going to persecute them for massacring them, including their children. You know, the Soweto uprising, you know, when the kids went to the street, they killed close to 800 of our children. So they got under Mandela's ego. This man thought that him sitting in jail for 24, 25, or 27 years, however long they say he was in there, that the young girl he left as a girl, Winnie was between 24 and 26 when that happened. He left her with 2 daughters. They showed a letter that she wrote to her lover, who was an attorney, right? You know, they intercepted the letter and they published it in the newspaper. Instead of doing what the ancestors tell our men to do in that case, when you go against a man's wife for whatever she did, His job is to protect her first in front of adversity. His job was to stand by her. Good or bad is my wife. No, he didn't. His little ego got, he forgot who maintained his name alive in our memory. It was her. Who took the beatings for our people while he was already incarcerated. It was her. He forgot about all this. The same people who just done beating him up in jail, breaking bones and shit. The same people all of a sudden were his friends. He now started meeting with them without the other prisoners, without the other activists, and it was agreed that they were not to negotiate, solo. When they arrested them, there were 5 of them. When they come out of prison, if they need to sit down with somebody, it's going to be with the 5 of them. So you could see how Mandela started betraying his own people. All right. So long story short, they told him they don't want Winnie. Winnie was too radical. Winnie wanted to bring justice. But they used that letter where she tells her lover, I love you. You've been gone for 27 years. What do you think? The woman is a machine. She's just going to sit there. But in the meanwhile, we, our mothers, what do? When our fathers commit infidelity, they have a child outside the wedlock. We go and collect that child. We bring that child home and raise them. So Mandela betrayed his people. He let these white people, these Mzungu, bottle him up. And guess what? They gave them the political power and they sat on the economy. Until today, the Mzungus are sitting on South African lands. Although I heard 2 million of them left the country because the idea of sharing the country with Black people was a no-no, impossible, a hell to the no, right? So about 2 million of them left, but the rest that are there, they're still sitting on the economy. So, and then I remember a time it was like our people in South Africa, they were dying from HIV/AIDS. They started injecting them HIV/AIDS because they knew by number they could never win an election again. Black people are too numerous, so they tried to cleanse us like that. All that was made possible because of the betrayal of Mandela. So when our people in South Africa are screaming, and another thing, very recently, one of my brothers was living there. He was working there when they started that xenophobia thing. Now, xenophobia, it wasn't xenophobia against the white. It was xenophobia against the other Africans who went and lived there. They started chopping them up. Why? Because the Mzungu in their backyard, he rattles them at will. He has that magic. They talk about that us Africans have witchcraft. They have real witchcraft. The way they are, how successful they are in penetrating our souls to make us believe that the people who strip us naked and whip us like animals could ever love us more than our own. They have that formula. So you will see the same South African started, chasing all the blacks from South Africa. They were necklacing them, take a tie, put around them and set them on fire. I'm like, this is what happened when you allow these people to stay in your backyard. They started rattling them out. Go and fight your fellow Africans. They come in and take your job. So when you guys done killing each other, they're sitting on your land. So today's video is about we need to grow up. If we can't do anything for our people, we just need to shut up. It's either we're going to grow to be these kings and queens, or we just need to give up and shut up and hand it over to them. When it's time to get serious, we fail. We always fail because our main ego, they will bottle them up and do whatever. That's why they don't respect Black man. They have that formula, but you will see them swallowing their pride. You will see them swallowing their pride and be mature when it comes for the betterment of all of them. Like I told you yesterday, the conference of Berlin, the arch enemy sat in the same room and said, okay, we can continue fighting each other in front of these savages. We got to do better than that. Let's just make sure that we get into a deal that all of us win, and then they split our land like a piece of cake. Now, decades and decades and decades later, our fathers are still unable to mature. Our fathers are still unable to say, I don't like this person, but I will not give you a doorway for you to go and assassinate him. And we're complaining and we're complaining. By the way, the Mobutu, his wealth, all the money he stole from his people are in Swiss bank. Switzerland never returned that money to the people of Congo. You know, wherever he had money, even in Europe and everything, his castle, and you know, these thieves, they would take from their people and go and buy mansion abroad. And when they fall out of grace with these people, guess what they do? They just repo everything. They keep everything. They take everything. Because many of our men are still slaves. If you're going to keep us in the kitchen, you better man up over there. You have a whole nation behind you. You have children wandering about around the world, going around hungry, naked, barefoot because of the decisions you guys have been making. If you're not a man, go to the kitchen. Stop sending women to the kitchen when you know you can't be a man enough in front of adversity. If you can't be a boss, go and sit down somewhere. But as one of the queen of the land, I'm warning all the puppets on the continent, time is up. Whomever gonna sell his people, trust and believe we won't give you a break. Nor you or your children will catch a break. There won't be a place in this world you and your loved one would hide. We have had it. Our jails here in America are full of our people who are innocent. In Brazil, in Mexico, everywhere. Our sons and daughters have nowhere to hide, nowhere to run to, because you guys are conducting activities like criminals. If you're not a man, step aside and let a man take the reins. Step aside. Too much is at stake. So our people have been betraying each other like that from a long time because they're selfish. And that's why I tell the women, even the women on the continent, you guys have a big amount of power, a huge amount of power in regulating these fools. If you know the guy betrayed his friend, don't marry him. Don't give him any time. Don't marry any of your daughters to him or nothing. But what do? The dictators, the thieves, I mean, we make them celebrity. People run after them. People worship them. People give them whatever they want. And it's wrong. It means we are complacent in being slaves. So it's time you guys wake up. See what is happening in Ethiopia. All they need is boost the ego of one of our fathers. They give him weapons. They give him money. And here they go fight their brothers. And I want to let you guys know that I'm tired of that. We are out of the curse. The curse been lifted. Okay? So now is the law of the land. You shed your brother's blood. The people you sold your brother to, you will die in their hands. These are the new mandates. I'm telling you guys, your children will not make it. I mean, look at the former president's son, how they become useless because their fathers go there, shed blood, betray trust, put the people through suffering. God gave us a land and people for us to protect, guide them, and provide for them. So when you empty the money, the little they allow us to survive on, you take it and go put it in their banks. Whatever we have, you take it and give to them. It's a shame. So that's why a lot of our leaders, they can't speak because they were not born to be in that position. You see them going to their meetings. They can't dare say, no, this is what I want because they don't have that anointing. They don't have that power to lead. They're puppets. They saw their brother and their jealousy and envy led them to betray their brother to feel his seat. Now that you're feeling the seat, now talk. In the midst of other fellow men, open your mouth. They can't. But I want to let you know that Tatan Zambe said, Any of you who will betray your brother, not only you will not be successful, but also you will die in the hands of your so-called friends. That's what is happening now. So you guys better unite back at home. Our people have suffered enough. Okay? You need to get it together. Tanzania didn't give us Africa for you guys to do of it what you guys are doing of it. If you know you cannot lead, step aside. Whomever else gonna do that thing, deliver their brother and become a puppet, we're waiting for you. There won't be a place in the world you'll be hiding. We will give you hell. We will hunt you down because it's because of dictators like you that our people are suffering all over the world. They have no place to go, nowhere to run. Okay? So that was my message for today. My beautiful African royals. Let's see who's here. Okay, I see we have somebody here in the chat. Come on, my royals, go up on those lights. All right? It helps maintain us around. All right? And those who come just to spy, I told you guys, don't come and play with me. You know, if you are an agent and you have a family you care for, you have a wife you love, because our people, when they go through the offensive, I told you, our weapons are not physical. Okay? Your wife ended up dying by some strange reason, the innocent child, because of the decisions you make. The children of Africa are no longer your meals. Get over it. Yes. The curse is up, so our powers, our spirituality, everything is kicking. Everything has awakened. So, and as I said, they always need one of us to give access to one of us. You know? So I want you guys to really be out there and be ambassadors for peace among us. Those of you who follow these influencers that all they do, their topic is to talk about other black people. Their topic of the day is to discuss other black people, what they do wrong. So basically, our brothers have to commit something for them to have something to say. Hazel, thank you. Thank you for blessing your queen. It will be multiplied. You know, so I would like you guys to kind of stay away from such energy. It's detrimental, it's dangerous. This is how our people have been selling each other. Same thing. I know that, you know, in the African American community, I mean, those who have now come to know about my work, they think that I'm here to beg them. Some of them think that I'm here to try to convince them, oh, let's go home. You know what? Somebody wrote a comment on Africa diaspora. The person was saying that Africans are trying to use the diaspora to go and rebuild Africa, and they won't fall for it. So to those who go around saying that, I understand how you feel, because not everybody was somebody where we come, all right? Some people were non-entity, all right? And others were dignitaries. Others were sons of dignitaries, kings, queens and stuff, elders and stuff, seers, you know, priests and stuff. So for those, you know, their offspring will find their way home. For those, we don't need to talk loud. In fact, many of our royals are ready. They tell me my suitcase is packed. My queen, when are we leaving? So I want to make sure, you know, those who come across people who feel that I'm here, but I'm not here to beg them. In fact, I'm running behind. I have to start talking to our children in Latin America. I have to start talking to our children in Brazil, in wherever they have in Latin America and everything. The American audience is not my only center of focus. If the American Negro will decide to come home, good. If they don't decide to come home, well, they were not called. Just like I said, it's the people who are called because their ancestors want them back. They're too valuable. You can't be a son of a king and live abroad like nothing. Do you know what it does to us? That our own children were stripped naked. Thank you so much, Pam. Thank you for blessing your queen. Be divinely blessed. Do you know how hurtful it is to us to see some of our children completely lost? Do you know how we feel? You know? So those of you who are out there, I wouldn't say, because I see like, those of you who are out there thinking I'm here to kiss your dirty behind, that's not what I'm here for. All right? They go around, oh, let's see. Nobody is here to beg you. Nobody is here to beg you. If my message doesn't call you, it means that it's not for you, and I won't sweat it. We have millions of children to reach out to. If you want to stay here exchanging blows with our former masters in America, being dragged to the floor, you know something with toxicity? Toxicity and drama are addictive. You know, we were in the hands of narcissists, so people get addicted to that kind of treatment. But why I see it is like, these are royals. These are the members of our crowns. And it kills me, it shocks me, it hurts me the way our people are being treated around the world. Those who think that, oh, Africans just want to use them to go and rebuild Africa, they're not part of the prophecy. They are not part of that prophecy. And probably their ancestor was nobody, because those with strong ancestry, those who came from kings, queens, elders, priests, and stuff like that, they all will tell you they get dreams, they get drawn by things that are about Africans. They get on the internet to make researches. They get their DNA test done because they want to know why the spirit in them is calling them back home. So those who don't feel called, what it means, tell them, Ngningone said, you must have been nobody back at home, just a livestock. Okay? Because the spirit of our ancestors never let their children go. It's not us. You know, they never let their children go. I talk to our kids in America, they would tell you, oh, my queen, since I was little, I've been dreaming with this, I've been dreaming with that. I hear the sound of the drum sometimes. What does it mean? I just smile. Our people never allow their kids to get lost. So those of us who are lost out there, it means you were a non-entity to begin with, and you need to keep your mouth off of Queen Ngningone. I'm not you. All right? Okay, so that was it for today. Okay, so to my beautiful royals of Africa, as usual, oh my God, we have 72 in the chat. Don't forget to like, so your queen won't have to spend money to spread the word around. As I say, we have children to reach out. And those who have the attitude that, oh, Africans just want to use us to rebuild Africa, stay. You were probably born a slave, and that's all you know. Have people look at you like a fish in a bowl, you know, slam you to the ground and dress you naked. You want to live in that and bring children to live in that, because this is who you are. But what I condemn is those going around discouraging others. That's why I'm telling my royals, keep in mind that you're royal. There's a path you are to walk. My ancestors who had to surrender to accompany their sons, I know they didn't die off. I know they're out there. I know they're looking for me, because it's in our DNA. The prophecy is imprinted in our DNA. Wherever they are, I know they feel the urge to go home. Just like you have seen many of our kids, they found their way home, because blood calls blood. Because blood calls blood. Yeah, Bantu mother said, my royal ancestors called me home to Kenya at age 70. Yes, That's why you see when African died, no matter how broke the person was, but the community will put money together to send that body home. Because it's an abomination for one of us to die and be buried abroad. And how many times their descendants, the people that were stolen from them, you think they're just going to leave you there for eternity to be in a foreign land? No. So those who don't get it, they want to go around thinking that we Africans need the diaspora to go. No, we want to get our people, take them out of slavery. Because as long as we are abroad, we slaves. Okay? You know, sometimes they want to become so American on you. Nobody needs your dirty behind home, because those who have those mentality will be the ones, they're going to go there with their American names. The first frustration they will encounter, they will talk to their embassy. The embassy will load them up with guns and they'll be the one fighting us. So please, we don't want this kind on our continent. We don't. Stay with your master in your slave quarter at peace, or whatever war you're going through, stay there. Don't think this queen is here trying to kiss your dirty behind to come home. You better off where you are. To tell you frankly, you better off where you are. Don't bring it home, because your loaded gun against us, and we catch you there, it's going to be popping. So to my beautiful and lovely African royals, we have reached the end of this royal conference. Isadora Morgan, she said, I heard the sound of drums a few months ago and never knew what it meant. Now I do. Now, dear daughter, drums beat when it's time to crown a king or a queen. For all of you out there, when you hear the sound of the drum, it means the time for you to come into power. With your ancestors, power has come. I live in a very posh neighborhood where I live, right? And when it came time for my crowning, we were the only family, you know, in our neighborhood that will hear the sound of the drum, African drum, around the clock. I asked all my neighbors if they were hearing the drum, right? And so they paved the way for me to go and get crowned. This is what I keep on telling you. Our people, they don't abandon you. If you hear drum, it means you're crowned king. You the crowned king or the crowned king, queen of the lineage they wiped out back home. And your parents are calling you to answer present. They're calling you to the role. If any of you dream with this guy, the cobra, if you see somebody in a dream, come and hand over one to you in a living form, know that you're a king or queen of that lineage. We don't lose our people. So those who have nothing to receive, just chill. Go and be on your little hole and keep my name out of your mouth. I'm not here to kiss up on your dirty behind. The enemy has conquered you to a point is pitiful. So stay where you are. Yes, when you hear the drum, you know, when they're about to crown the king or a king, they will roll the drum in the village, in the kingdom and stuff. You definitely a royal, a crown one. And the crown comes to you, your generation, you the staff bearer. That's what it means. Pamela Hood, my next step is to go to Gabon. Oh, really? Oh, this is my sister. They snatched her from us. She said it's her father's people's land. Yes. Liberia. For us, African royal is the drums. If you hear drums, don't think you're crazy. They're calling you to act. They're calling you to reconnect. They're calling you to come in possession of your powers. Ernest, I'm loving this queen too much. And I know she is a real queen. Thank you, my royal. I have nothing to hide. This is me. It's just, pay attention to the sign. And as you know, Tatanzambe say, we will exit. We will go back home. And anybody who will try to stop us will be destroyed. Why you think your queen is on her feet? They will be destroyed. Okay? So it's time we up and out of here. Leave the masters and their slaves. Our people are so amazing. Marlene Francois, Marlene, hello. Mbolo, my sister, Mbolo. Dorel Wright, I love you too. Funi Zawati said, I always hear drums and ringing in my right ear. Good. Drums, only hear the drums the king or the queen that is to enter in possession of his or her powers, and the right ear is when they talk to you. You definitely a crown royal of your generation. They decide to change my name from Philip to Fortune. Yay! Kuna 4. That's what I'm talking about. Awesome. Michael A. Smith. Yeah, my royals, let's go home. Carrie Banks Wright. What about if you have a vision of red, white, and black horses? Horses are not indigenous of us. I don't really know what to. Peace and love, Kojo. AD said, but Africans that come to the US distance themselves from the American descendants of slaves. There are more than 3 million here that are from Africa. Okay, we don't grow up in Africa resenting our lost children, because that's how our people back at home call the diaspora, our lost children. We don't grow up resenting them. But when we come and we bring that, remember I was telling you that Africans are kind of gullible and naive, and a lot of our own people prey on us when we get here. I shared a little bit of my experience. I mean, the worst things that have happened to me were caused by African American. There was this guy I employed a while back and stuff, he came to my company. I met him in school, and he was this big guy. Some of you may even know him. He's like a poet. He's like Romus, whatever, And he was, my sister, this summer he claimed that he was a substitute teacher. Oh, this summer and stuff, I have nothing to do and stuff. I found you on Facebook and he says that you're a CEO. Oh, hook your brother up and blah, 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 blah. Let me do something. I don't care even just answering the phone. I need to pay this rent and stuff. I let him in my company. What did he do? Another thing, they love to use flattery. They will start flattering you, but behind your back, they're killing you. He grew jealous. He started telling my interpreters that, do you know Marie's your pimp and you are her whore? She has you running around town while she's sitting up in her mansion. At some point, I couldn't find anybody to dispatch on a job. And he didn't stop there. I flew to Pennsylvania for the presentation for a statewide contract that was going to be given, awarded to me by a private corporation which owned about 200 and something hospital. And my agency, their consultant, told them to choose my agency. Do you know what that brother did? He called them. He said, don't do business with her. She's African. and all they do is witchcraft. Now you put such thing in white people's head, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to run. And I was married to an African American who had me arrested, locked up in jail, and was even trying to put me in a mental institution as a scheme to take over everything I built for. While I was running around pregnant and all, interpreting and stuff, dude had his 8 to 5. The minute he gets home, he gets on his video game. I built our entire lifestyle, but he thought the time had come for him to kick me out of my work, everything I built, and take over. What did he do? He used the same system, police, immigration. Immigration he couldn't touch because I got my green card. They invited me to come live here. So I enter here with a green card, but he was threatening me with all kind of stuff. So I want you guys to realize, okay, when you come across African who are like, you know, they kind of keep that wall. They're simply protecting themselves. I can't say that we are, you know, we grow up hating you guys. We grow up cheering you guys up from home. You know, we will tune in to watch the Olympics just to see our children. We will tune in. So none of us leave the continent coming here hating you. But it's the way many of our sons and daughters handle the Africans. They call gullible. My ex-husband told to my face, you are so ditzy. Taking things from you is like taking candy from a kid. While all alone I was being a supportive and good woman my parents trained me to be. So I don't buy about that thing that African hates African American. Many of our sons and daughters have ruined the life of Africans because normally we come from home, we're supposed to stick together. We're supposed to add and come and add strength. I was married to a man who will call the police, and a Mexican guy. He was outraged by what he was doing. Do you see how it works? So I don't buy those excuses. Our people were told that we sold them. That's why healing is very important. We need to heal. We need to heal from those lies. Because a lot of our people, unfortunately, hate us based on that lie that they have imprinted in their DNA. So when they come at an African, they come with the mind that I will destroy you. So if you see some of us just being like keeping that wall, it's because we don't want to get destroyed. You know, many of our sons, when they marry one of our daughters here, the minute they buy a house, they kick them out of the house, take everything from there. Come on now, you guys know how you guys do here. Okay, Bantu Queen. Black leopards are just like the jaguar, they will call him. So royal houses have cats as pet, big cats, you know, like in the spirit realm. So if you dream of these animals, you know, serpent, just not any serpent, the cobra, if you see him, you definitely are royal. You the crown royal of that lineage, okay, of that generation. If you see one of these cats, either this one with the spot or the all black is still our royalty. Redemption 100. Stick around my royal. You know, that's why I tell you guys to set your ancestral altar. Our ancestors, they help. I mean, they open big doors. You know, when we're in trouble, when you call, when you set up the altar is a way of inviting them in your day-to-day life. Your difficulty shall be lifted. You should get a break. You will. I bless you with that anointing. You will. You will catch your break, baby. You will. Donna Brown, you welcome. You welcome, my dear Royal. Yeah, is recalling his people. He's recalling his people home. But what I want, do you know if our forefathers had any Bibles? No. The Bible as presented to us, okay, is an invention of the Catholic Church and the people of so whatever they wanted to share with them and however they corner things. Our people knowledge is transmitted through oral rendition and through the spirit realm. It's like, you know, the Matrix when you get the programming. All right. So no, our people will not let, you know, their children just get lost and be stuck in the wilderness. That's why I really went hard on our leaders back at home, because they need to be conscientious that they have a whole nation of people behind them. And Tata Nzambe didn't give us such a rich land for them to do of it whatever they're doing. You know, a lot of our children are ready to go home and stuff like that. So they need to come correct. They need to stand up. You know, they need to, you know, to be united. Now the people in Tigray are receiving money from the US and weapons from the US to fight their brothers. You know, they will sit around and they will have that confidence that they can destroy anything we build. Why? Because of our own people. And it's time we stop. It's time we hold the traitors of our people accountable for everything they do. When they dare betray their brother or betray their nation, don't marry any of your daughters to them. Don't give them any love. Don't give them any respect. Call them out for who they are. Because at the end of the day, it's our people who suffer. And our people have suffered enough. Yes, so that's why I want our children out there. Some of them take their former master story and run with it. And they will put you, the African, on the defensive. Or you have to justify it. I'm like, get out of here. How dare you, you know, choose the person's version, the person who enslaved us. You take whatever he fed you, and you come and try to put me on the defensive. That's the kind of nonsense I don't tolerate. So, yes, yeah, Napoleon, the divide and conquer. The divide and conquer. And they can't conquer us if they find us united. We need to heal. We are not animals. We can do it. We can do it, and we will do it. We need to heal. Okay, my lovely royals. So keep in mind, there's no such thing that African hates you. We don't grow up hating you. We don't grow up having somebody in our ears talking shit about you. No. We grow up praying for you. Each time we see something happening, I remember when the LA riots were going on. We had people, we had healers, the guardians of our people. When something major happened that is televised, they get to work. They don't need to get out there and publicize it. Like, I don't know if some of you have seen what they did to the cops that killed. The voodoo priests of Benin, they gathered that day. They said, we're going to eat these today. And all their descendants, they did what they know how to do. Does the world knows that? No. So now, whether the criminal system finds them guilty or don't find them guilty, or our people back at home already took care of their fate. You see what I mean? Let me, okay. So Amukelani said, I woke from my sleep in the wee hours of the morning and my eyes was fuzzy and it was three women in my bathroom door entrance with beautiful head wraps on looking at me smiling. You're royal. They always let you know that they work with you. Now let you know, check this out. Like when I got married and stuff, my ex-husband was African American, you know. So the day after our wedding, when he woke up, he told me he saw 7 African elders around our bed. He described all of them. He said they were like 5 men and 2 women. And I told him, you know, even before I knew that I was a queen, I've always known, my parents always known that they go with us everywhere we go. I told them they came and greet you. The dead on my side came and greet you. They let you know, they're with. So that's why healing is important. So now imagine one of you married into a royal family. He saw all the signs. He saw all the signs, but at the end of the day, the Hebrew Israelite got a hold of him and they told him that we are the Canaanite, we are the people who sold him, blah, blah. So this dude was coming home to insult me. He came home to fight me. He came home to insult African. That's why I tell you people, be very careful with these dangerous teachings that are out there. So at the end of the day, you know, he started saying they're going to move to Israel and blah, blah, blah. And today I laughed to his face. You went and looked for ethnicity or whatever identity all the way there when it's been in your background, right? You know, healing is so important. You guys have to heal because they can give you gold. You wouldn't know what to do with that gold. You're going to throw it away. Healing is important. So we need to rid off all the lies, the trash our former masters fed us for ages and go back to ourselves, go back to the royal we are in that purity state, you know? And when you do, you will see them. They will come to you in their dream. If you are the military of that lineage, they will give you a hatchet, you know, or they will give you a spear, whatever weapon they had in that tribe. They give you a machete, they give you a sword, something. If you're a doctor, if you see them come and give you how does it look like? It's a broom, but it's the broom that have, you know, little sticks like that. If you see it in a dream, if they give it to you, it means you're a healer. You have a gift of healing. You need to be in the business of healing people. Our people don't lose their offspring. Like those who those who watched that interview with Dr. Tata, you know, when I said that in my crowning, Shango and Oya, they showed up. They're like, we want to work with her too. We want to take our place next to her. And I remember I told you that when it comes to my paternal side, we don't really know where everybody else was because we could go past my great-grandfather, the father of my grandfather. Yeah, we couldn't go past him. So we used to ask my dad, Papa, where's everybody else? On mama's side, we have the list, but where's everybody else? You know, on your side. My dad didn't know because his father was murdered by the colonizer. Anybody who had land had to die. So they killed him and took the children and gave them to missionaries to raise. So that part was just, but at my crowning, when Shango and Oya showed up, the priest said somebody came from Nigeria. Period. Our people, we don't lose our children. We don't. All right? Some people have asked me about this. It's like a whisk. It's like a whip. It's a spiritual. It's like it's a spiritual weapon. So I can, transmit blessings with it. I can transmit blows. However, I point it at you. I will. I will put a link. They have a vendor that has very good one in one of those stores. I will put a link. Don't be shy to get your stuff. It's a reminder you're an African royal. Wrap yourself around fabric. Tie your head. How can the cop can arrest somebody who had their head tied? You're gonna look mysterious to them. They'll be like, they don't really know what to deal with. So drop the gangster dressing and stuff like that. Start embracing your identity. I see some of our son over there wearing a turban, which I found very cool. Area of Nigeria was powerful. The British said the only way to defeat them is to teach them that anything English is superior. Yes. Yes. So just like my father used to tell me, use your critical thinking. Whatever they force down our throat, flee, run from it as if it's a plague. Okay, my people, they have stupid story that they were successful in forcing down people's throat. They're going to tell you, oh, Noah has son. Someone was white, another nonsense. The black son that so-called Noah cursed happened to be us. How can a white man have a black kid? It's impossible. We are the only race on earth who can father or mother a white. So if Noah had a black son, it means Noah was black. It means whomever Noah came from was black, going all the way back to Abraham. Jesus and all these people were black. These are the kind of story they run with. And the world just absorb, even things that don't make sense. We are the only race that give birth to white. Two black get together. We call them our original blondes. Our albino. They be blonde, pale skin, green, blue eyes, gray eye, you name it. We are the only race that is able to do that. So if Noah had a black son, it's because Noah was black. You guys want one of these? I will put the link. I would put the link. You can consecrate it to your ancestors. You can just carry it as a reminder. All right, I'm a queen or I'm a king. Don't mess with me. Okay, to my beautiful African royals. Oh, greeting, my dear prince. WK Lua. I see you, Papa. I see you. Oh, Pamela Hood, so you Galois. Yeah, the Galois are in the area of Port-Gentil and Libreville. We share the estuary states with them. So you are G1, first province of Gabon, G1. That's how we call us. Gabon first province. You're from the Galois, okay. Oh my God, our people are not lost. This is wonderful. Should you sell merch? What is merch? English is not my first language. I'm trying still. What is merch? Donna is asking, should we sell merch? Merch. What is merch? Oh, merchandise. Yes. Because we are divinely abundant. So whatever we touch, we multiply. And our people really multiply their wealth, not working for somebody, becoming entrepreneurs. Even if candy you sell, even if cake, whatever you sell, like merch. Yes. You know, always be in business, because when you work for somebody, you put a cap to your earning. But when you're in business and just, you know, doing it, killing it, I mean, you put no cap on your earning. Yes, Bantus are trader. Bantus are traders. Business. That's what we're good at. Because anything we touch, we multiply. So when the jealous and envious, they come and want to tear down what you build, you know, they don't know that by tearing down what you build, you know, you're tearing down the work of our people on the other side. So what does it mean? They come after you, you know? Never destroy somebody's business, my royal. Never, 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 never. Because the forces behind it will come after you and collect. And sometimes they will collect generations after generation. Just like we discussing today, the cost of betrayal. Betraying one another gets spiritual repercussion. So we need to stay away from that. Okay, my people. Merchandise queen. Or maybe we should start a clothing line. How about that? Right, ladies? Some of you are designers. If some of you are designers, let's get together and start Nubia. Nubia fashion. I bet you're going to have people running around looking like us. You know, we set the trends. You know, we set the trend. The trend, whatever we put on, the copycat catch. So yeah, we need to drop the sagging pants, and get that elegant royal attires, whether casual or whenever we really want to pull it. Yes, that's right. Okay, my people, I think we can be here all day. Hi, my beautiful royals. I think we can be here all day. Ngningone University, yay! Okay. You know, we have Monkozis and Kendakis in the making. You know, please become a royal again. I'm telling you, it's in your DNA. It's in your DNA. Just speak those words, whomever I was or whomever my ancestor was before the fall of our people. Your daughter, your son, I'm here. Come back. Spirit, obey to command. You know, when I reclaim my everything. Do you know that sometimes I go somewhere, people who don't know me, they just bow. They know. People who are like, you know, they have that connection to spirituality. They will greet me with the utmost respect. They will bow because they know in presence of a crown queen. I'm telling you, don't worry about the people around you. Yiri, yiri, ya. No, that which is yours. Recall your things, even at home. You know, after you take a bath, you're ready to go to bed. Send the SOS out. Whomever I was back at home, your son, your daughter is ready to welcome you back in this new body. Now, this time around, we're speaking English, or this time around, we're speaking Spanish, or we're speaking French. The spirit remains the same. Okay, my royals? All right, thank you, Hazel, my beautiful queen from H-Town. Thank you, all my beautiful royals. You know, we will be meeting every day. You know, we have to empower each other. We have to love each other. We have to cherish each other. Somebody comes trying to badmouth about your brother, your sister. Tell them, so what? What do you want? Don't fall in any bait. Remember, only us can give them access to us. I was Craig. Hey, our awesome son Craig. Hey Craig. Yeah, the time wasn't just right. We were still under the curse, right? So we had to lay low. So that's why I tell you folks, we are privileged. We are the generation that will truly live free. Okay? Yes, it's called regeneration. So we have to share. Don't carry any guilt. It doesn't mean that because you had a bad life, or because you've been in jail, or because you were a stripper, or because you were a sex worker, or whatever the society may deem as dishonoring, as shameful, or whatever. My people, please listen to me well. Do not carry around any guilt. Whomever you turn to be is due to the fact that your destiny was stolen from you. Okay? My destiny was stolen from me. Can you imagine a whole queen? I had to work pregnant, well, heavily pregnant, running around. Working shouldn't have been part of my day-to-day just to pay my bills. No. These are the things I'm calling stolen destiny. So I don't want any of you, oh my dear Hazel, thank you, my queen, for blessing me again. It shall be multiplied. So any of our sons out there, and please don't shame your brothers, don't shame your sisters with about their past, about their background, about anything. They love to do that, to put mark on people. They're going to mark you for your credit. They're going to mark for your criminal record because they like that. Back in the days, remember, they will brand you with the seal of whichever crown kidnap you. And now they have things in place such as creditworthiness, such as, background checks, such as, some jobs, they even dare dig into your finances to see if you pay your bill on time, to judge if you're a good fit for the job, as if it has something to do. Leave all that discriminating things, okay? Just know that your destiny, as intended by Tatanzambe, was stolen to you, okay? And whomever you turn out to be, whomever you become, is just for well. But now I'm inviting each one of you to reclaim your identity, to reclaim your destiny, to reclaim whatever was stolen from you. If it's Nemo, we're going home. We give you a name. If it's culture, embrace the internet is there. Be creative, be colorful, be yourself. If you choose to shave your head and walk around like that, so be it. If you choose to wear your wig, so be it. If you choose to rock one of these, so be it. We born free, my people. Never put anybody in a box. God's originality is expressed through us. They brought the discrimination thing, the yiri yada, the oh no, you're not good enough, you can't come here. They brought all of that. Like my father used to tell us, you know, when we go home, he will force us to speak Fang. And he said, okay, return the savagery to its rightful owner. Whatever savagery we learn from them, we must return it to them, or we keep it and use it as a weapon against themselves. Let not use their tricks we learn from them against each other. Okay, my beautiful royals of Africa, I love you so much. Okay, please know your queen loves you. I don't care what anybody says. Thank you. I love my people, okay? From the richest to the poorest, I claim every one of you, okay? You are my people. I don't care what you have, whether you sleep under a bridge, whether you what they call here homeless. How can our children be homeless? You know, they have the richest land on the earth. Whatever, even our junkies, it's not their fault. Their destiny was stolen from them. Okay, my lovely royals, you know, stay blessed, stay safe. Your Ngningone, I love you very much. May you be protected, and may the ancestral shield cover you and hide you. Make you invisible to the evil eye. All right? May our soldier rise each time you need help. Okay? So we are thanking our deserving ancestors. Thank you, Isadora. Thank you for blessing your queen. It shall be multiplied. Each time you leave your house, take them with you. My people, to my front, back, and side. Make me invisible to the enemy. Make me invisible to the evil eye. All right? All right, my folks, I love you very much. Peace in your home, love in your heart, and unity 24/7 around the clock. All right, my lovelies. Bye.